Good afternoon, everyone. This is your host, Devious Dave Rose, for Kommunity Kerbals Episode 14. Glad that you could join me here today. It's a snowy evening. And, no, I'm not coming down with the coof. I've been smoking more cigarettes than I should have been. But that's due to the stress, and that's no excuse. But regardless, I'm still alive, I'm still kicking. And I've been monitoring my health since December 2019 when it came to any symptoms that might relate to the Wu flu. And so far, so good. So don't think for a second that I'm going to be knocked out. Plus, nicotine apparently does help in preventing reception of the virus and so forth. But regardless, we are here for a little Kerbal Space program. Been busy during the day, a lot of things to do, but wanted to unwind a bit here with a little Kerbal Space program, and thought maybe you guys would like to join me on this adventure. So let's transition to this now. There we go. So I'm looking for any suggestions as to what you'd like to see. Apparently there's some guy who claims to be Danny MT. I don't know if that's him. Says that's a lie. I don't know what it is that he's referring to of being a lie. But, we have both Steve Callan and It's the Stanza in the chat, wielding their shiny wrenches. So, I can easily whisk you away if I choose to. But, let's get to this game here. I think I should have a tea, though, just to fix up the throat. Good evening, Mrs. Foulmouth Ken. So we're going to resume our previously played game, New Frontier. As we last left it, Bullfrog, Keith, and YR were stuck in orbit of the moon. So if we go to our tracking station, and there we got the moon. Oops. Go to the VE Express, as inspired by Van Edwards. So there, if we go to them right now. No, I'm not sick. I've just been smoking too many cigarettes. And I did the karaoke the other day on Friday night. And I just blew out my voice. And, cigarettes aren't the best to do that. But I've been trying to keep taking my vitamins, which I do forget from time to time. And, I'll pull through this. But it's, I'm not feeling any symptoms. All it is just my voice is fucked up. But regardless, as we can see here, we have hardly any fuel. Now, I can always engage the cheat codes and get these guys back. So I'll allow that. Perhaps the drama gods look kindly upon these three misanthropes and choose to allow for that. So I'm open for any suggestions by the audience. There's quite a lot that we can do. I mean, let's see here. Hold on. Let's get back to the Space Center. Shout out to Bry Guy in the chat. Well, we can send out a probe to try to land on the moon or onto Minmus. We could send up another jet if we want. Try to land on an asteroid. I'm open to suggestions. Hey, there's Clam Baked in the chat. Clambake, certain patents are showing, COVID 2021 in their names. Plus, the testing period doesn't end till 2022 of all these experimental injections. I would love to try your chicken soup, Shannon. I'm going to invite myself over to your place down there in New York, and then I'm going to invite random friends of mine. Well, I'm going to ask Ken for his address so I can send that address to random friends of mine just to randomly come and visit you guys at your place. But yeah, maybe once all these mandates are refused, because a lot of Canadian airlines are basically saying if you're not double vaxxed, then you're not getting on a plane. Or even on trains. So, it's a little fucked up. Come on, people, I want suggestions. I can do anything. But, we could save these guys if we want. We could just give them infinite fuel and get them back to land them. We could launch a probe out into the outer outer solar system. We could intercept an asteroid. But I like to take suggestions because I'm not, expecting something. And, it could be fun. So I encourage people to suggest something. We did fly a jet the other day with Tommy NC and Hamza, and unfortunately they crashed at the last moment. But I did intend to try to get them home. We could make Drew a pilot, and apparently, according to Clambake, I sound like B. Arthur. It's hot. Well, there. I don't remember what the lines that she would say in Golden Girls. Oh, Blanche, come on. Good times. So, let's see here. I feel like chicken tonight. But I think I'm going to make a rocket. What do I want to feel like? Kind of interested in landing on an asteroid. But I love the moon. Actually, you know what? Let's get to Minmus. You know what? Let's take you guys for the first time to Minmus. Minmus is that second satellite of Kerbin. So, unlike Earth, this planet has 2 moons. But the gravity is extremely light, and it's kind of crazy. So you know what? Although I could put a probe on there, I would request now from the audience name of somebody in the community who shall be the first to visit Minmus. Now remember, Keith, YR, and Bullfrog are stuck in Moon's orbit, so you can't use them. Tommy and Hamza are both dead. And we need more people. But remember, you're volunteering people that might die. So if you don't want them to die, best not to suggest them. But we can get a 1 person capsule to Minmus, and it'll be fairly easy to get off as well. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to wait for somebody to suggest somebody to put in there. No, how does Hamza still alive? So you know what? I'm thinking this game, maybe there's a problem with my version because, Hamza and Tommy both died on their last flight. And somehow they got resurrected. So, Inspector Todd says, "Did you ever rescue me and Tony from the ocean?" I don't remember. So let's not save. Let's go back to the tracking station, because that'll tell us all active flights, and we'll see whether or not. Yeah, TNT. So the TNT, there it is, in the ocean. So if we go to the game, there you go, Todd. Just wait till it loads. So there you guys are, still floating in the ocean. Your lights are on your capsule, having a gay old time. If we go inside, we got you, Todd, and you're looking around, and then, oh, there's Tony. Like, whoa, dude, like, whoa. You're like, we're still waiting for the fucking pickup here, people. And we'll go back to the tracking station. And we're going to go to you, TNT1, and we're going to recover you. So there you are. So now you guys are back in the roster of astronauts. Also, shout out to Shid and all the shitty trolls that like to go to all these other channels because they've been excluded here. But the birdies send me all. Well, actually, I've got my sparrows. You know, Ken's got his birdies. But regardless, you know, I really don't give a fuck how many people watch me or don't watch me. I could play this game without streaming and still have fucking fun. But there's people out there that seem to like this sort of thing. It's not drama related. And it's content that I can do without even fucking blinking. But yet again, you and your fucking dirty, you know, degenerate, sellout, British, fucking English self, you know, prove yourself to be a faggot. That's fine. So yeah, of course you're still alive, Inspector Todd. Oh, so Bry Guy's suggesting Garguts. Now, if it was up to me, I would sign him up, told him that he's going to the surface of the sun. And he'd be like, I can't do his laugh that well, but, whoa, dude, like, yeah, surface of the sun, man. I bet it's like fucking hot. Whoa. But I don't want to give him any accolades. Imagine if he lands on Minmus and then comes back successfully. You're going to have to recognize a fucking moron. I mean, you might as well just go out with a blaze of glory, you know, at least a hero, rather than allowing somebody like Garguts to come back and claim victory and accomplishment on such a great feat. I'm just, I don't know, I'm trying to be honest here. All right, so let's get back to where you got to go. All right, so we're going to go back to the vehicle assembly building. And we're going to pick a craft out. This will be called Minmus 01. I'm not feeling very creative with the names. Chad says, son? That's a fucking sun? Yeah. Be like, whoa, it's like shiny, but like, I thought it was something else. But like, you know, let me tell you about the time when I toured with Metallica and like, we actually went to the surface of the sun. We played a concert there, dude, and like, I opened for them and then I closed for them, dude. Like, whoa. It was like really cool. So, we're going to actually change the color of this one, because you can change them to different colors. I like an all-white capsule, actually. That's what she said. All right. So, we're going to need some sort of fuel tanks. This will be our final stage here. Skibbity bop. That should be. That's actually overkill, but we wanna ensure that we can get back. Now, Engine for surface takeoff. 60 kilonewtons. That should do. Says send Mars to Mars. Eventually. Mars has a special role in this. We'll get to that later. So that engine should be sufficient to get off the planet of, or the satellite of Minmus. We still do want, well, actually, we're going to need decouplers. This one. Actually, we're going to need a heat shield as well. You never know. There we go. We need maneuvering. And this is similar to the way they actually designed the Gemini and Mercury capsules, is that most of the fuel is actually stored in the front nose cone area. I'm gonna need where is it? Command and control. These guys. So these will be our thrusters to maneuver us around. We're going to need a parachute. Still want more parachutes though. So hopefully that's sufficient to keep us from dying. Check with the chat. The USS Frozen Pizza. Interesting. Let's check one thing here. Shout out to the 14 people that are watching. 5 thumbs up and I don't even know how many dislikes there are. YouTube thwarted us in that, and I always said I didn't like that idea. But there you go, trolls. You're forked. Just worrying about the parachutes, but we should be okay. So that's why I'm suggesting people voluntold somebody that you don't care if they die. Although apparently the glitch in the game is that they're going to come back to life anyways. So regardless. Let's see here. We need landing legs. Perfect. Now, track them. Not too pleased with the... Not too pleased with the way they are positioned. That should be sufficient. So, do that, and we need a utility ladder. Just one. So, when this extends, it'll get us to the ground. Now, we don't necessarily need it because the gravity is so light, but I'm going to include it. So, plus it's got a little light there. All right, we also want, let's see. Prince Idol. No, see, this is the fine balance there, Inspector Todd, is that we need to find somebody who's worthy of an accomplishment and milestone like this, but isn't worthy enough, or or isn't, but isn't, I should say, but isn't, a scumbag that you want to give them that credit. It's got to be someone who'd gladfully die in the line of duty. So, I'm concerned about the amount of. Yeah, I'm gonna have to add a secondary. Actually, hold on. Before we do that, check this. So this has monopropellant of 10. That's not sufficient. All right, well, we're going to do this then. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to add some monopropellant containers to the side of this capsule. And that should, actually, let's move them up here. And command and control, where'd that go? We're going to add these. 4 of them. So those are omnidirectional, so just one direction. So Inspector Todd says, how about Casey? And then said, never mind about suggesting me. Let's see here. So we're going to extend this. Yeah, it doesn't interfere. Yeah, we're going to do that. Now, what we want is a coupler. Actually, yeah, we want one of these, which is an arrow shell. Save this. So yeah, we're gonna need. I don't know, Todd. Do you want to go up? Because we got you in the roster here. I will try to get you back, but dying in honor is not necessarily a bad thing. But back here, what we want is one of these arrow shells. This one's probably too small. Yep. Something like that. There we go. Perfect. So, save it again. Now, this is the thing that we need to get into orbit of Minmus. So what we're going to do is we're going to open our previous creations. Can't remember what we called them. So we had TNT1, which is a very good platform. And then we had the VE Express, which came up a little bit short. Let's take the TNT1. Let's load it. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. There's this thing here. Where is it? Skibbity bop. Sub-assemblies. Now this is very cool. So you spent all this time making this platform that works, right? Excellent. But you need to, you don't want to recreate it. So what do? We go to, hold on. Okay, so we want everything from below the heat shield. So this decoupler and everything below it. So we take this and we drop it here. It says save subassembly, and we say of course. And we're going to call this the TNT. Actually, no. We're going to call this. Let's see here. Also trying to keep up with the chat. Todd says, I lived through hell with Tony, so I feel invincible. All right, well, that's what we'll do. We'll call it the Invincible. And inspired by Todd. There we go. So, if we open up, say, oh, do you want to save? Nope, don't save. I was just saving a subassembly. So we go back to what we just created, min-1. We load it. All right, this one's ready to go. What I don't like is that these things aren't fucking set up proper. So what we're going to do is, let's see. I'm going to take this off. It's already set up. Perfect. Now, these parachutes here. These parachutes should fire at the same time. So we're going to make one stage specifically for all the parachutes. And that will be our last stage. This stage and the separator should be running at the different times, so we'll do that. So this stage will run, then eventually fuel deplete, it'll separate, and then once we choose, the parachutes will go off. So save it again, and now we go here, pop that back on. That's ready to go. Now there's the Invincible. So we grab that, pop that mother on there. And I think we're again and again over-engineering this. But I guess it's never a bad thing, right? I mean, after all, we did leave those 3 yuckles there in orbit of the moon because I didn't engineer enough, and I thought I did. So I think this will work out quite fine. So we're going to go back to here, back to our crew. So, Todd, you've been voluntold. You're going on a space flight. You're going to be the first Kerbal on Minmus. If we can, well, we should be able to get you there. Get you back, that's a separate mission altogether. But here we go. Let's see how this works out. Quite the sturdy phallic object there. And that's what she said. Alrighty. Normally we go for day launches. Things are a little bit easier to see, but that really doesn't matter too much here. Where's Minmus? Minmus is there. Oops, a little too far. Minmus is there. All right. We're going to have to change our orientation as well. I'm not really familiar with getting to Minmus, but with the maneuvering systems that we have here, it should be relatively easy. But we're going to have to see. So, increasing throttle to 100%. Todd says, that's fine. I'm willing to stay in space for a while. Hopefully a rescue mission would come and get me eventually. Well, if you die, I can't really help you there. But here we go. 3, 2, 1. We have full ignition start. Release of the towers. SAS is enabled. We are now off to punch the sky. And it's not too much more delta V than getting to the moon. So this should be, again, quite over-engineered. We should have much more fuel than we need when we get there, but we'll see. All right, so on the dark side of the planet Kerbin, our apoapsis is at 7 kilometers. We want to wait usually till about 15 kilometers that we're at to start to maneuver ourselves. We're already obviously breaching the sound barrier. quite stable, actually. Watch this. Okay, there we go. So we want to move towards 90 degrees. So we're looking for an apoapsis of 100 kilometers. We're exactly at 90 degrees. Apoapsis at 75 kilometers and rising. Some okay, so first stage gone. Perfect. This is really good. This is what you always want to do with these archaic types of technologies is you have a stage here that's wasted and you want it to crash into the atmosphere and burn up. So we eject that, try to drift a little bit away, activate the next engine just a little bit because we're getting really close to our 100-kilometer apoapsis. And I just like to go for 100 just because it's a nice round number. And it is the sort of official Kármán line. Good evening to Feslov there in the chat. So what we want to do next is we're going to be waiting till we get into orbit. And this is where we can use maneuvering. So we've got about 1 minute to get there. So click here, add maneuver. We want to increase the apoapsis here. 178 kilometers, a little too much. 123, 110, 109, and 99. That's good enough for me. We don't need to make it perfect. So we go to target now, or maneuver. So we're going to rotate. We're also going to eject. That should have ejected. Did finally. So we're now in the maneuvering vector, and we just got to wait till we get about to 20 seconds, and then we're going to fire our engine, at which point we want to reduce that delta V, currently at 540.2 meters per second, and that should get us into orbit. And here we go. Oh, we fucked up. Something fucked up here. Activate engine. There we go. I don't know why it switched off. So we got to be very careful. We don't want to overdo this. So what do we got here is a final orbit, 99 kilometers and 110 kilometers. Not too shabby. So we're going to go back to our craft here. What happened here? Something happened. Something didn't work right. Because this thing is telling us, I guess, that fuel's empty. Or maybe it's disabled. Well, we're going to see, Todd. All right, so next thing to do is we're going to try to get into the orbit of Minimus. Let's see where Minimus is. It's usually easier when you're in the opposite side of the planet. All right, so now we should be able to accomplish some sort of intercept. So add maneuver. We want to go out. So Minimus is there. Whoops. No intercept. So we want to rotate this. Nope. And you can always cancel it and stuff, so really it's just a matter of trying to plan this properly. So go like that. But it moves slower. So there's challenges when it comes to that. All right, so and again, its orbit is on an incline, which is what makes it so difficult to get an intercept. Let's see if I can change that. Okay. If you can match the plane, it's going to be a lot easier to, that's fairly close. All right. Let's do the opposite. Oops. Check the chat again. Says, what planet is this supposed to be in real life? No, there's no analog in real life for this. This is just a second moon. So if Earth had a second moon, this would be it. But obviously we don't have that. So it's just a planet that's even, it's got even weaker gravity than the moon. And yeah, it's just really interesting. You can you can launch yourself off the planet without having a rocket. It's just a matter of having the the rocket fuel on your spacesuit. So it's kind of crazy, actually. So what I'm trying to do right now, obviously, is we're trying to get into a intercept with this planet here. So this will be the challenge. So we're on a similar plane, but we need to increase that. Nope. That's my God damn it. My orbit isn't allowing for this. Says target. How are we going to get to this fucker? Because I'm doing this manually. I'm not doing this utilizing some of the sort of cheats and tools that exist in this game. Spectre Zaz says, do you remember a game called Aerobiz on Super Nintendo? I don't think so. I remember a game, I think it was called Aero Wings. You had all these different planes you could play with, and it was actually a really good game. I think Microsoft made it. But, no, I don't remember Aerobiz. All right, so we're going to have to figure this one out. How are we going to do this? We've got a lot of fuel, so that's a good thing. And we should have sufficient fuel to get back. So apparently people do know Aerobiz. And it is not the game that I'm thinking about. Shout out to Derailed in the chat. We'll do a mission in the future for you to try to redirect a asteroid. All right, so we need to get to this motherfucking planet. Okay, so here we have some sort where is this at? If I shoot too far, this will just start to orbit the entire fucking solar system, and I don't want that. Come on. Yeah, so if I do this, target position at closest approach. Closest approach will be a separation of 16,000 kilometers. You know what? I'm going to do it. Fuck it. Target. Worst comes to worst, we should just come back to Kerbin. And if not, at least Todd lived out the best he could. So here we go. Craft is rocketing out. It ran out of fuel. You son of a bitch. All right. Told you to separate. Ah! Well, That didn't work, but you're still going to get home all right because you're going to come back in the atmosphere and we're going to save you. So we fucked up there. That's fine. I'm going to have to redo the fucking staging. Because clearly that was the problem. So if we go back to our map here, we'll see that you'll be taken out to an orbit of 1,000,000 kilometers. And then you're going to be coming back in very steep. All right, so we're going to go retrograde. So we're coming in against the atmosphere. And I think we're going to use our RCS fuel to try to slow us down as quick as possible. At least to provide a little bit of slowdown here. Because this is a very steep attack angle, as that's what they call it. And the problem with this is that it causes so much strain because of the atmosphere that your craft can burn up. This is one of the concerns that they have about sending anybody out to the moon, because the return flight is going to have to be at least in the same speed as the flight that it took to leave the orbit of the Earth, and that's extremely quick. We're at 195 kilometers. We're gonna expend as much fuel as we can in the monopropellant to slow us down. It won't do too much, but it will slow us down just slightly and not make us so heavy when we start to strike the atmosphere. And we're going to see the atmosphere probably about 100 kilometers. And we'll start to see the effects on that shortly. So we're coming in quite quick. Okay, so our fuel's now expended, monopropellant. And now our speed's starting to increase. So we're going to see how this goes. So we're about 85 kilometers in to the atmosphere. I think it's about 70 when we start to see some sort of thermal effects. Todd Kerman seems to be having fun here. He's not with Tony this time. And there we go. Now it's starting to heat up. If you click on it, actually, it'll tell you the... hold on. Where is that? There's a parts section here that tells you how much heat everything is taking. I don't know where it is, but okay. So we're now landing. 32 kilometers, or about 30 kilometers right now. Todd's still healthy. The craft seems to be surviving. Now we're getting into the thicker part of the atmosphere. Now our parachutes are active and ready. We're going to wait till we get a little lower before we activate them. We're going to be landing some sort of weird spot here on the planet, isolated from the populace. 8 kilometers and falling. And I'll activate them now. About 5 kilometers. You can see her shadow there. These are highlands, so the ground is a lot closer than other places, but our speed's now decreasing. It looks like we're going to be able to make a nice soft landing and keep Todd alive for another day. Let's fast forward a bit. We're still about 1 kilometer up. It's going to take some time. 1.5 times speed. And although we did not get to Minmus, it was a good effort, and obviously a testament to my bad engineering skills. Or I should say perhaps negligent. Not bad, but should have paid more attention. Regardless, any landing you can walk away from is a good landing, isn't it? So we've got Todd here, Inspector Todd, just about to make a landing back on Kerbin. Survived dealing with Tony going into space, and he survived the improper engineering of Dave Rose. So there we go. Back safe again on terra firma. So we're going to do this, and we're going to go to the tracking center. And we're going to go and we're going to retrieve and recover the Minmus 01. And Minmus 02 will be the next flight to try to get to Minmus. But I had some fun. I'm basically done for the day. Just wanted to jump on quick, have a little bit of enjoyment, bring you on that adventure, and yeah, here we are at the end of the stream. So for all those that that tuned in, appreciate it. For all those that tried to give us a thumbs down, not knowing that YouTube has now instituted their very stupid anti-Biden system. Thank you for joining us too. But it was fun. I love to do these sorts of games. Love to talk about the space. Hope you learned something today. And yeah, we shall see you next time.